Beautiful game review. Let's go. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela Bacaldian.
This is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Movie Talk for movie fans. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day. And thanks for watching on this take. What are we talking about today, Angela?
Ooh, this is going to be a fun, interesting one. We are reviewing The Beautiful Game.
The Beautiful Game tells advocates to end homelessness organized an annual tournament for homeless men to compete in a series of football matches known as the Homeless World Cup, which is football overseas, not American football. In regards to that, this is actually stars Christina Bill Knightley and directed by Thea Sharrock. Mm-hmm. What did you think of this movie? Netflix, by the way, thank you so much for allowing us to watch this movie and everything. Thank you for the press screener, by the way. But yeah, what did you think of this film? Was it everything you expected out of it? We saw a quick trailer before watching before us requesting and watching this movie, so we knew who the main stars were. We knew Bill Knightley was in here. Of course, we just got done watching him out of a marvelous movie. If you haven't seen Living, it's a beautiful film, which I was so on board for. I felt so connected because of the fact that it just everyday life. It's so relatable. What did you think of this film, Angela?
So I will say going into it, I wasn't a huge fan of sports films. Just my personal preference. It's nothing against sports in general. So I was like a little hesitant, but I was like, you know what? It actually has like a positive message. It's about this homeless World Cup that, all these people from around the world are competing in. And it's really cool to see that, come together. I will say though, I was not prepared for how heartwarming, how heartwarming that this movie was going to be. It's such a good, positive message. It's really about, like you say, overcoming homelessness and, seeing how homelessness comes in all shapes, sizes, age. It's non-discriminate. So I thought it was a really, really good message to see. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this. I think the cast is so great. I know Bill Nighy's the main one. He's the coach for the England team, which are like the Cinderella story in a sense. But I gotta say, it does spotlight some of the other teams from the other countries and what they're going through as well. And I really appreciate that. I think it's I can't say enough how heartwarming it was. Oh my God, I wanted to cry so many times. It has such a good positive message. You just really don't know what everyone's struggling with. I will say, I did not like the main character.
Oh, Vinny, Michael Ward.
I didn't like Vinny's character. Nothing against the actor. I just did not like his character. And I get the conflict. I get why it was written that way.
I think that was the point, though.
It was the point, but I didn't like it. But I get it, though. I get why it has a meaning. But that's the only negative thing I can think of is just I just didn't care for his character. You'll see why. But overall, again, it's not against the actor. I think he did a marvelous job. But and so did the rest of the cast. But yeah, I will say overall it was interesting. Again, coming from someone who doesn't like sports.
Yeah.
And it was also cool to see like this World Cup league. You don't have to be like professional football player to like it's just really about representing your home country and just, representing a team and being a team player. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I always talk about Netflix movies, and Netflix movies is the fact that, they're not always W's. They're not always great movies, but recently we've been getting with The Irish Wish. We saw that one. That was pretty cool. That one was a really good one, rom-com, if you haven't checked that out, Netflix film. But I always have to say this because every time it's mentioned, every time I say the director, Thea Sharrock, she is great. There's a lot of direction that really goes into this. There's a lot of pieces that come into this because it's a homeless teams and everything. There's a lot of pieces coming together. And I gotta admit that we need more, and I always say it, we need more women directors. We do. We need more damn women directors because they really, it's definitely a different point of view. And it's the same too. It's like always need different directors. That's fine. But I gotta admit, Michael Ward played a really good character to where like he's not likable. He's so judgmental, and I like that though. I think that's the point of the movie
I think
in a
he
way.
represents
Yeah.
like society.
Yeah, and I feel like he's giving a point of view to our sense, and not to say that we all think the same, but
like,
it's more so.
society-
It's generally society sees homeless people a little bit different. One of the things I really did love about this movie, and it was so well directed, was the fact that they really humanized the home. I mean, we know homeless are humans, but they really humanize it in a way that's genuine to. One of the things I really did enjoy as well was that it was very inspiring on a lot of levels here, and I really did love that a lot. Bill Nighy is just a phenomenal actor, Oscar winner actor, who really shapes the form of this. It's more than a team. It was almost like the Ted Lasso for a film, you know, in a way. Obviously, Jason has nothing to do with this at all, but I feel like that in its own right. Knowing that this is based on a true story, or certain events based on a true story and everything, so I really did enjoy that. I appreciated that a lot. One of the other things I really did appreciate as well was the different backgrounds we got out of here. This movie had a very directed. We just got done watching, and I have to put it into perspective because they're totally two different movies. Two different movies. Kong versus, we just got done watching Godzilla versus Kong, or Godzilla and Kong. That story was so thin and so flawed. But again, you go in watching the Titans fight each other. With this movie, it's totally different genre, right? For one. For two, it's such a great directed story. There's a lot of development in between the characters and everything. And I know you said, Michael, Vinny didn't have in its way though, in its own right. I have to admit though, in its own right, I feel like that it was our point of view. After watching it,
I could see I could see that reflecting on it after we watched it, because it bothered me so much during it. But if you're looking at it like his character is supposed to represent how society generally views homelessness, and it's not much change. It makes sense because we're still dealing with that in not just in our country, but in countries all over the world.
I love that because it really brings the there's homeless everywhere, and I really did appreciate that because they got all the different countries, and even more so, we got something very insightful. One of the things I really did like, even homeless people understood the war that's going on between their own countries.
But also that I feel like for this cup that they're all competing against, they're all competitors are all competing against each other, all different teams. They want to win. They want to come out on top for their own reasons. And they explain it. But even in that sense, there's this competition. You still see how they come together to help certain teams. Yes. And I absolutely love that they touched on that as well. You see a lot of things they touch on, like you see like you say, like civil war. You see the refugees that's the top that comes up. Drug addiction, like thievery, like stealing. Like there's all these reasons why people have ended up homeless, and they kind of, in a sense,
and they actually Netflix at the very end actually did acknowledge they actually used homeless people to get paid for the actual extras. And I appreciate that a lot. That's awesome. That's great. I thought that was a really good touching moment for Netflix to do that and everything. One of the actors that really stood out to me in this movie, besides Bill Nighy, I have to recognize him because he was such a great actor in the point of the fact that script that he was given and everything, the role that he had. He actually played Nathan. His name's Callum Scott Howells. He was amazing in this movie. He did a really good acting point. There's so many moments in this film that make you just want to give him a hug. You want to just like, come here, buddy. Like it's definitely that moment to where like you want to cheer him up, you want to cheer for him, and you hope that he gets better in its own journey, his own story that's progressing in this film. And I feel like for me, besides Vinny, besides Bill Nighy, they're great, but there was definitely a good supporting roles to really support him. Yeah,
he was so great. He was like instantly the most likable character out of everybody. And you, like you say, you can't help but want to root for him in his struggles and what he's going through, and you find out what his story is. But my gosh, like you just want to be his friend. He's struggled so much that even then, in that face of adversity, he is still so warming and accepting and open to people and experiences. And I gotta say that's very inspiring. Like,
yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was hands down my favorite character. But yeah, I think the actor did such a great job. The rest of the cast was phenomenal. I liked, like you say, how Netflix employed and paid for the extras, actual homeless people. I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
I will say, is there like a big action sequence? No.
No.
But the story is there, and it's so captivating to watch.
I mean,
it really is.
The football, or the soccer, because we're in the States, right? So the soccer aspect of it, behind the soccer, the fact that it's a sport, it's still a sport. There's still a tournament, so that's still great. So regardless, needless to say, though, it still has that. It does. It's like not. It's thrill. Not like. It's not really a thrill, though. It's more like just like
the edge of the game.
Yeah,
like when you're trying to like, you're rooting for so and so in this game, and you want them to win.
There's still competition there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but
I'll leave it at that.
But again, like we just came off. We came off seeing Godzilla X-Con, and that's all action.
Yeah,
I agree with you. The story was a little bit murky.
This one's way better.
The Beautiful Game has such a solid
again
story.
Different movies, different perspective. We just want to put that insight because of the fact that you can still, even though with the budget difference and everything, you could still make a great movie. And I feel like with this film, it's a very good, great, inspiring film. We'll leave it at that. But
absolutely.
All right, we need more women directors. I'll say that again over and over. Which is the one we deserved? I'm saying yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Rating 1 out of 10. 10 being the highest. When you give this rating?
Man, I'll give it an 8 because it was so good to see. Like, again, I can't touch enough about the cast. They did so great. The message, you'll walk away feeling a whole bunch of feelings. You'll be in your feels, I swear.
For sure.
And I think it was done beautifully. The story was well written. I agree with you. It was well directed. And I think it's really a film that we do need. Like, it sheds a light on things we may not think about, now.
Inspiring. It really is.
It's inspiring. So I would say, a solid 8 in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 8.4, a little bit higher than you because of the fact that we actually got emotional depth between them. Even more so with the whole team itself, even Cal as well, who's Kit Young. He's actually one of the other football players.
Shadow and Boom.
Yeah, you recognize him from Shadow. I didn't even watch that show. That's all I was all like, where's he from? And you're like, Shadow and Bone.
I saw Miss and I was like, Shadow and Bone. I recognize faces more so than names.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. We do recommend this movie, guys. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day. If you have not already, be sure to like, share, subscribe to us for more movie reviews like this. Any final thoughts, Angela?
I would say give it a chance. I know there's a whole bunch of blockbusters coming out, but this is a good sports movie.
It's a good Netflix film, and I feel like that you are going to get inspired. It's a definitely. I would say this. I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. I don't care. I'm going to tell you the truth, though. I'm going to tell you the truth. You're not going to like it. It's definitely a movie where it inspires you to do good things, and it's definitely a mark. And it's like Ted Lasso, right? It definitely puts a different perspective on life in such a positive way, and I really did appreciate that a lot. I did. I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed Bill Knightley, of course, as ever. If you haven't seen Bill Knightley in Living, you need to watch that movie as well because it's inspiring as well. He's been really on the roll with these inspiring films, and I just love them.
I know one of your favorites is the Christmas All Around Me.
Oh my God, Love Actually. I love that movie so much. Love, no pun intended, but I just love that movie. I watch that movie all the time.
Every Christmas. I know you don't celebrate Christmas, but every Christmas you watch that
I watch
movie.
the holiday season. I watch it even the summer because I'm just like, dude, yes. I love Bill Knightley. He's great. We'll leave it at that, guys. Thank you so much again. Have a good one. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D.
And I'm Angela.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Guys, see you at the movies. Latest.